All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, we are live. I can see it. And doing it like we do on the way this morning to our 8 o'clock mass. Um, so this week, and I put out a great video on a market update. Market is going fantastic as always. I always like to throw something in there about that. That's not new. A couple of quick updates on the market. Over the last 30 days, the number of homes on the market have gone up almost 50%, which is amazing for buyers. So there's a little bit more opportunity out there. The multiple offer situations are definitely still there and in play, but they're not quite as in play as they were, let's say, a month ago or 2 months ago, which is nice. Interest rates, of course, are remaining low, which is good. In Metro Detroit, we've moved from around 4,500 homes per month going onto the market to a little closer to 7,000 homes per month going onto the market. Still not enough of a supply to even out the market. Still an extremely strong seller's market, but if you're a buyer and you've missed out on a couple of properties in the past, now's your time. Today's your day. April, May, and June is when you're going to be getting your property, which is so good. Um, and I'm going to keep this video short today, but one thing that had come up a couple of times this week, which I thought was interesting, is I had two agents contact me on listings that we have, and basically the same question. I get this once a month, maybe twice a month, but it was very unique that I had it come up twice, twice over the weekend, twice over this weekend, which prompted me to ask the question, when you're interviewing an agent, well, and here's the question to use. When you're interviewing an agent for either buying or selling a property, asking the question, what's your primary source of income? AKA, are you full-time or are you part-time? Right? Now, the reason why this is such a good question is twofold. One, and this is not to speak disparagingly about part-time agents whatsoever. I started part-time. My first year and a half was part-time before I really got going. We all had to start somewhere, and this is one of the largest financial transactions of a person's life for most people, right? There are very few people where a home is not the number one financial transaction, not the number one purchase. And frankly, it's extremely important to nail it and get it right where your family's living. And in this market where the multiple offer situations are strong, being able to win those, right? So the question I was asked by two separate agents was, hey, can we get an appointment on Monday or Tuesday for this home, right? And one of the properties already have it. They're calling for buyers' best offers by Sunday night, by tonight. We had already had over 35 families through the home as far as showings go, and we have another half a dozen going through today, kind of tapering off on the showings. And the agent had asked me that not because the buyer couldn't get into the home, but because they were working all weekend at another job, and they were not able to show the home to their client. And we ended up working it out so that their client could go see the property without them, because on the one side, I want to be sure with my seller that we're getting every buyer through that property, 100%. Extremely important point when you're representing a seller. Those sellers, I believe, or at least they should. Most sellers have the expectation, or should have the expectation, that your agent is going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that the highest number of eyeballs and the highest number of people that go through that property in the shortest amount of time to make those offers, that actually happens, right? So we provided a workaround where one of our agents took care of that buyer on behalf of that agent to ensure that the buyer got into the property. And I also know that's not always the case. I also know that, and again, not trying to be disparaging, not trying to speak disparagingly to part-time agents. I was part-time when I started. Again, the other option, and frankly, the option that happens more often, is that buyer doesn't get to see that property and they miss out. Not saying they would have won the multiple offer situation. Not saying it was even the right home for them. But I am saying that buyer was no longer afforded the opportunity to see if it was the right home for them and put that bid in. Right? So the question, I think, which is very important, especially in this market, to ask is, when you're interviewing agents, especially buyer's agents right now, what is your primary source of income? Is this your full-time gig? Right? Is this the job you do day in and day out? Is this how you earn money for your family? Right? Because in this market, we got to play to win. which means your agent has to also be all in, right? If it doesn't matter if you get the home of your dreams or not because they're going to go draw a paycheck from another job, that may not be the right agent in this market for you, right? Now, if you're looking to move and it doesn't really matter if you do or you don't, and it doesn't really matter if you get a house or you don't, then that might work out pretty well, right? Second reason is availability, right? So what I mean by availability is, again, going back to this agent, can you be available to show me the properties, especially in this market, knowing full well that most properties, the best ones, are on and off the market in 48 hours, right? Most properties, I mean, I'll say it again, and anybody in the market and any agents on this call listening, you're nodding your head saying, yup, that's about right. But the best properties and most properties are on and off the market in 48 hours. If your agent's working another full-time gig, can it get you into that property in that window? That's the question. Now, for us, and I'm going to speak about my team, our team, we do only employ full-time agents. That's number one. Number two, and yeah, even as a full-time agent, and frankly, some of our guys are super busy, which is amazing, and it's amazing that clients put so much trust in us, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, Sometimes our guys get booked totally as well. So we have what we call showing agents or backup agents, right? Because at the end of the day, if a home comes up on and starts showing on Saturday, right? And my agent already has 4 appointments or 5 appointments and they're completely booked. But by you as a family need to get into this property to determine if it's right for you, we're going to get you in that property. We're going to get you in that property. And the reason is because I have several dozen agents and we are a team and our culture is we do help each other. We are going to get you in, we are going to get you and your family in that property so you can make a determination on whether or not that home's for you, even if one of our agents may be a little tied up on a couple of other appointments that were previously booked, right? So there's the question of the day. Next week, I'm going to tackle another question. But the question you want to ask your agent when interviewing, especially if you're looking to buy a property right now, is your agent full-time? Do they have another source of income? Is this just extra money for the family? Is this what they're doing for fun because they enjoy looking at houses? Or is this a serious career and do they play to win for their clients? Right? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I am going to jump off, spend a few minutes. Well, I'm just pulling into church, frankly. All right. Enjoy the rest of the day.